Hello, my name is Blake Patterson, and welcome to Afro Reviews. Today, here is another episode from the Classic Series. On the second episode of the Classic Series, I will be analyzing Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. The first time I watched this movie was when I was 8. My father was an enthusiastic fan of Hitchcock's movies, so we viewed it on Cinemax one day. Even though it was nearly 50 years old at the time, Psycho was still an effective piece of filmmaking because it relied on character and gradual suspense. Most psychological thrillers today that are usually released in the mainstream market are more about action and effects. Contemporary audiences would rather be intrigued by mechanical thrills than genuine ones. To even be more honest, I observed this motion picture with a class last semester, and a few people literally laughed at it like it was one of the worst movies they had ever seen, which I was incredibly offended by, since we are in an era where films incorporate an excess of jump scares. In 2020, I only know a few directors who I would consider as great filmmakers in the genre of psychological horror, such as Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. Now, I will start analyzing the film and stop having a tangent. In Psycho, Hitchcock gets at the soul of the good versus evil dynamic by following an innocent woman, Marion Crane, who was acted by the late Janet Leigh, who chooses to steal money from her job at the bank. With a black and white composition, the muted colors convey the juxtaposition of good and evil. It has always been questioned whether the movie would be more intense in black and white or color. Well, my answer is to try and watch Gus Van Sant's shot-by-shot remake without laughing or turning it off. Anyhow, Marion Crane arrives at the Bates Motel where she meets the mysterious yet polite owner, Norman Bates, who was portrayed by the excellent Anthony Perkins. What follows is a movie that turns into a murder mystery about power and gaining dominance. Viewers can interpret the ambiguity of Psycho as a message for various themes such as power or sexuality. The famous shower sequence in the film remains as one of the most exhilarating in cinematic history, which was also an infamous part of the production process. I would hate to waste several plot elements for younger audiences, but there is an explanation sequence at the conclusion that most people dislike. I think it is still an important aspect to Norman Bates' character development. Bernard Herrmann, the greatest film composer of all time, conducted a stimulating score that should be heard by everyone. Even though the movie does have dated aspects to it, Psycho is a masterful film that everyone should see because it influenced some of their favorite films of all time. It is an important landmark in cinematic history that I think will remain entertaining for the rest of time. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great night.